Hi, I am Jasmine Kocheiser. I am 41 years old, and after 22 years of active addiction and 6 prison numbers, I now have 3.5 years sober, and this is the happiest that I have ever been in my entire life.
Yes. Well, thank you, Jasmine, for coming out and taking the time out for us today. So we'll just get started right at the beginning, childhood.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? Did you experience any trauma? That kind of thing.
For the most part, my childhood was normal. My mom and my stepdad, or my mom and my biological father, split up when I was very young, and she got with my stepdad, and like they raised me like it was like, you know, white picket fence. They gave me everything that I could possibly need, and mostly everything that I wanted. There was alcoholism in my family. You know, there was trauma. I was molested when I was younger by 2 different gentlemen in my family, and you know, it took me a very long time to actually deal with that trauma. I got to high school and I just hung out with the wrong people and did the wrong things, and you know, consequences never mattered to me. I don't like being told what to do. I hate it. It's my biggest pet peeve. I don't like being told that I can't do something because whether it's good or bad, and at this time it's all bad, this is what I want to do. Don't hang out with these people. You're gonna drink or smoke weed or whatever, and that's what I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So through high school, you started drinking and
Yes.
smoking weed?
Yes.
Were you doing anything else?
Yes. I started doing LSD and mushrooms and cocaine, and yeah, it progressed.
And did you graduate high school?
No, I dropped out. Well, you know, through my high school years, I got suspended, and then I got expelled, and then I went back, and then I got suspended, and then I got expelled. I actually dropped out my senior year because I got pregnant. Makes no sense, but I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So how was the relationship with the guy?
Honestly, it was just it was based on partying. Like that's just what it was. And
Right.
I got pregnant, and everyone said the right thing to do was get married. So 7.5 months pregnant, 2 days after I turned 18, I got married. And you know, after I had my son, we had bought a house, and after I had my son, like it just, my addiction escalated, and my husband came up here and slept with someone and got her pregnant. And I'm like, well, and now I can honestly say that like I was just looking for a way out. I just didn't want to do it anymore, and he gave me that way. So I moved back here with my kids, and I moved in with my cousin, and she was going through a divorce. So she's out at the bar every night, and she's doing coke every night and partying, and I was jealous. I was mad because I had these 2 kids, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So, you know, for a very long time, I lied to myself, and I said that I was a good mother, and, you know, I sent my kids to live with their father because I wanted what was best for them. But that is not even close to true. I wanted to drink, and I wanted to do coke, and I wanted to party, and I wanted no responsibilities whatsoever. But it took me a long time, really long time, to be honest with myself about that. And I was doing that, and then I got into a car accident, and I was prescribed Oxycontins. And that's where it was for me. You know, I took those for a while, and then, you know, obviously I didn't take them how they were prescribed. At first I think I did, but it took a matter of time before I was doing what I wanted, and then I was introduced to heroin, and whew, it went from there. Yeah.
Right. So, so can you paint a picture for us? So can you give us a couple examples or share a couple of stories that really illustrate what your life was like in active addiction using heroin?
This is the one that comes to mind. So there was this fella that would always call me and say, hey, I need you to test this. And it was just a thing like that. You know, we had gone to the bar together before. His girlfriend had lived with me at a point in time, and I thought we were cool. He calls me and says, hey, I got something else I need you to try, but I'm at a hotel. So I go there, and it's a little graphic, but I go there, and as soon as he opens the door, I go to walk in, and he wraps my hair around his hand and just beats me. I was handcuffed to a bed. I was raped. I was beaten. I was burned. He, did whatever he wanted, and then left. I was still left handcuffed to the bed, and a couple hours later, somebody that he had paid to come let me go did. So that's where it took me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. So when is your sobriety date?
June 8th, 2018.
Okay. Is this the first time that you've tried to get sober?
No, I did one. I could say that I tried before, but I really didn't. I half-assed it. At first, I wanted to be sober, and then I met a man, and he became my higher power. Like I said, I lied, manipulated, stopped praying, stopped going to meetings, stopped talking to my sponsor. I was just looking for an excuse. So I got high, and I overdosed, and I was Narcaned, thank God. And that's it. The beast that's it. I'm ready to go. And, for I think it was 7 months, that's what I did. And then, we made this choice and decision, and decided we were going to rob someplace. And it's never something that I'd ever done. I know I'd hurt people in my addiction, but I didn't go in my mind. I didn't do it intentionally. In my mind, I thought my addiction was only hurting me. I never wanted to go and rob someone and potentially hurt someone. It was a 16-year-old girl, and it was a pizza shop, and it was a 16-year-old girl, and he went in there and robbed him. And we got pulled over on 480, and there was tons of cops, 24. I think it was 24 cops, and each cop had a gun because they thought that we were armed. And that was pretty scary. It was pretty scary, but not scary enough, it just didn't, consequences don't matter to me. I don't care.
Right.
It doesn't matter. When I'm in active addiction, consequences do not matter to me at all. Don't care.
So what happened with that?
So, I was sentenced to 4 years in prison. So I was 36 years old. I was going back to prison for my 6th number, my 8th trip. And I got there, and the CO, because, I've been there so many times, she said that she was glad that I wasn't dead. And for the first time in 20 plus years, it was so was I. All right, me too. And then my grandfather died January 31st of 2017, and that was really hard, because I called home, and my mom's crying, and there's nothing I could do about it. And then June 1st of 2017, I call home, and I might cry. I call home, and they tell me that my father has been rushed to the hospital. And I didn't, okay, Dad's going to the hospital, he'll be okay. And June 8th, I called home, and, June 7th, I called home, and they said, we're going to take him off the machines tomorrow, so call at this time and you can be here with all of us, And it wasn't until that time, like I don't know how to handle emotions. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to process. So I got high. I got high in prison because that's the only thing I've ever known. So I did that, and for the next 364 days, like that's what I did. And I called home, and they were planning my dad's 1 year like celebration, and I got high because like this is the first time in my life I ever remember the consequences of my actions mattered. And a friend comes up to me and says, she asks how I'm doing, and I'm an asshole, so I give some smart ass answer. And then she says, Jasmine, you know how you feel right now, and if you don't change it, that's how your kids are gonna feel. And I don't know why, because I'm sure like 900 people had said those words to me before.
Right.
But it wasn't until she said them at that moment that it mattered. And like, I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. Like, somebody else mattered more than me for like one time in my life. And I woke up on my dad's death date and I got sober. I did everything that Alcoholics Anonymous had taught me to do. It's not much you can do in prison, but it's enough. I got an IOP, and I know that my thinking is my biggest problem. So I would go to my IOP classes, but I would make it a point to sit with my IOP teacher. Like, please, like, just help me work on this, because I don't want to do this again.
Right.
Like, you're a great man, but I don't want to come back to prison again. Right. And so he did that, and I continued with college, and I was very active in AA, and I was very active in NA, and I prayed, and
while you were in prison.
All while I was in prison.
Okay.
Correct. They started a recovery unit. I became a residential advisor in the recovery unit. Like, I did everything that was the exact opposite of anything I had ever done. I got out, and I went to the Jean Marie house. I mean, I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I had hit, and it wasn't even, like I said, consequences don't matter to me. I don't care about going to prison. Right. Like, I can do it standing on my head. It doesn't matter. It was when I realized that other people were actually affected that it mattered to me.
So you got sober about 3.5 years ago. Almost.
I did.
And what do you do today to maintain your sobriety?
When I got out, I was told to shut the fuck up and just listen. And I did not like that answer. And I wanted to say my response, but what came out was okay. And they told me, go to meetings early, set up chairs, stay late, take out the garbage, talk to people, shake hands, get a sponsor, someone that you have no problem being 100% honest with. And even when you don't want to be honest, you're honest some more. Take some suggestions. Even when you don't want to, ask for help, because that's my biggest problem. I hate asking for help. I hate it. It bothers me so much. But I did that, and sometimes it was just one suggestion a day. Just one. Call your sponsor, okay? And people made me accountable. So Monday night, we're doing this. Thursday night, you're doing this. So Monday night, we're going to Sheffield, and Tuesday night, there's a meeting at the hospital, and Thursday night, we're doing Big Book at Jean Marie. And these people held me accountable to everything. If I said I'm doing it, you're accountable. People, like, I was given the opportunity for a job. I went to 13 job interviews and got turned down for every single one.
Wow.
It was it was very devastating.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It sucked. Sure. It hurt a lot. Like, I couldn't even get a job at McDonald's. They didn't even want to hire me. But I mean, somebody saw that I was doing right and said, hey, come get a job. So I was able to, I just had people that for some reason believed in me. And they're like, I'll help you. Like, just do the next right thing. Don't get drunk, don't get high, don't lie, do the next right thing, don't hurt anybody, just be a good person. And I started doing these things, and it became habits after a while of doing these things. Like I have to have structure in my life, and chaos or anything that messes with my peace and serenity, like it fucks me up, like emotionally, and like anxiety, and like it bothers me. I hate it. So like I had to have structure, and these people brought structure and balance to my life,
Right.
I hated it.
Sounds very familiar.
Right.
All right, so how are your relationships today?
Okay, so now I'll probably cry. So, I hate crying. My life is amazing. My relationships are amazing. My son has always been my biggest supporter. Active addiction, prison, like he's always been there. My daughter was a really hard one. She didn't, because my words didn't matter. Like, I'm sober, it's different this time,
Right.
And my sister has always been there. So my son gave me my first grandson in February, and I was like allowed to babysit him with nobody else around. My daughter gave me my second grandson the beginning of October. My sister got married in June. I was a part of. My sister had my first nephew in October, and I was like in the delivery room.
Whoa.
Like, my relationships, the people that are in my life, are really amazing. Really blessed, Yeah.
That sounds like it.
I hate crying. I hate it so much. God.
Well, from where you were to have them like support you and like you being a huge part in their life after all these years, like it's so beautiful. So
Yeah.
it's worth crying about.
Yeah.
So, you did speak on this a little bit, but what dreams have come true for you, and what hopes do you have for the future?
Well, in 2019, when I came home, I obtained my associate's degree in, community and social services and business management. In 2020, I got my peer support certification, and I got my associate's degree in corrections. I'm currently working on my bachelor's in criminal justice administration. I opened my own business, a baking business. It's just out of my house. But it's mine, and I have never had a car. I bought myself for my 41st birthday. I bought a brand new car. I never had my own place because I've always either been in jail or institutions,
Right.
or
Never
like
needed one.
sober. Right, I never needed one. Sober houses, or living with dope boys, or hotels, or whatever.
Right.
I got my first place in July. I have maintained sobriety. Like, I have quality sobriety. That's something that's very important to me. I'm accountable today. Those are all things I never thought I would be. I have healthy relationships, but like for me, I have a dream job. I love my job. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything better that I could be doing for a job. I work for Project White Butterfly, and what we do is mainly we go out in the community. We do outreach, and we try to connect people with substance use disorder to different resources, like if they wanted detoxes or sober houses or treatment or AA meetings, or they just need a peer support or somebody to vent to or cry to or whatever. We're there. We hand out Narcan, we hand out fentanyl test strips, we hand out condoms. Yeah, we just talk, because sometimes people they just need somebody to talk to. Yeah.
For sure. I
Yeah.
absolutely do.
I love my job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool. And while getting all these degrees, and that's an amazing story. It really is. Like, you are an amazing person and you have an amazing story for sure. So can you describe a certain feeling that you have received in sobriety that was not there in active addiction?
Peace. I didn't know what it was. Like, I had no idea, because everything was chaos. Literally from the moment that my eyes opened until I passed out somewhere, I didn't know what peace meant. And for me today, it's me laying my head on my pillow at night after my day, knowing that I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't lie to anybody. I didn't cheat. I didn't steal. I didn't get high. I didn't drink. And I did everything that I could within my power to at least try to save a life, or try to show someone what sobriety looks like, or try to show someone what recovery looks like.
Well, you're doing it today. What have you learned from your addiction?
Oh, it doesn't discriminate at all. It doesn't. It wants you dead. Like, that's the goal. And I always hate those AA cliches that are like, oh, it's in the parking lot, like doing push-ups. But it is there regardless. Like, I respect my disease today, and I know the places that I can go and the places I can't go, and the things that I can and can't do in my life, because I respect it. Because if I were to go out and do anything, I would die. And I don't, for the first time in my life, I want to live. So okay. Like, I have to feed myself. Like, I use the analogy, both of my kids have diabetes, and they have to have insulin every single day. Well, for me, I have to have a spiritual life every day. I have to incorporate the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous in my life today. Like, others, that's whatever. But for me, these are the things I have to do.
Right.
And if not, I'm going to get sick just like they would.
Right.
I can't do that today.
I love how you describe that right there. So what words of hope would you like to share with somebody trying to get sober?
Man, that's if I can do it, it's hard. It's hard. Life is hard. It really is, but it's definitely possible. Like, recovery is absolutely possible. I mean, you just got to have a little willingness, follow a few suggestions, and be honest. Like, that's it. Like I said, man, if I can get sober, like, there's no way that anybody else can't do it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that willingness, though.
Yeah.
It is. It's anybody can do it. You just got to have that willingness in the first place.
Absolutely.
Well, it went a long way with you, because look at you now.
Yeah.
Anyways, we really, really, really appreciate you coming out here, sharing your story. It's a very powerful story. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on that I didn't ask?
I think the only thing that I would say would just be my dream. Like, I think that the pivotal moment in someone's life, someone that has been incarcerated, once they are released from prison, they have a choice. So you either can go back to what you know, or you can try something different. And it's usually very hard to try something different when you don't know where to turn to. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be that. I don't even know what, between when they are released and stepping back into society. Like, that's very, very, very important to me.
That's your dream.
That's my dream.
We'll go for it. Because people,
I'm going to do it.
They need that, so
yeah.
You will be the face of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, Jasmine. Thank you so very much.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate you coming out and supporting Underwood